Hello, my name is Myra Coria, and today I am going to discuss language skill transfer. So, when we're talking about cross language transfer, or also known as language skill transfer, we are talking about the application of knowledge and skills that are acquired from one language to another language. So, I really want you to think about a unified linguistic and cognitive system. It sometimes overlaps and it is interconnected, but it is not fully identical. So we used to focus a lot on our negative transfer, but lately, research has focused more on our positive transfer. So when we're talking about positive transfer of language, we're talking about the benefits of transferring knowledge and skills that are acquired in one language into a new linguistic context. So I'm going to discuss with you three action steps that you can take um, that are based on the Connectionist teaching model. And this is a theoretical framework that is under the interdisciplinary umbrella of cognitive, psychological, and neuroscience. And this cognitionist teaching model believes that at the beginning stages of second acquisition, if a native language system is firmly established, then it will strongly influence the learner's language use. So, step one is what we call the training preparation phase. So, this phase raises students' consciousness of the general rules of the target language and activates schematic knowledge. So one of the things, for example, that you could do is you could have students, for example, if they speak Mandarin and you are wanting them to learn English, you can have them collect materials and compare native and target language, so Mandarin and English vocabulary before class. And then you, as a teacher, can guide the students to present their findings through design activities like discussions, class reports, and presentations. After you've done that preview work, and after students have previewed the learning materials and have figured out the difficulty or the difficult language points, then you can move on to step two, which is the training phase. This training phase, um, in this phase, teachers can briefly introduce background information, and teachers can also present some learning points, and they can organize specific drills and vocabulary for vocabulary acquisition. So you as a teacher organize specific vocabulary drills. For example, here's one that is based on research. Zhang 2023 presented this one where students get input and then practice. Input again and then practice. Input again and then practice and then input again. And then this really allows the students to practice with these materials and practice with these drills. Step three is what we call the consolidation phase. So students reflect and consolidate on their performances. The activities in this stage include like teachers explaining exercises, tests, and assignments. So the research tells us that the goal here is that the teacher should predict the difficulty of level of languages and the level of difficulty in the materials in advance. So that way there could be appropriate teaching plans and activities. This is a really important phase, again, because it really allows the students to reflect on their performances. And here are some self monitoring strategies that teachers can use to effectively support student transfer skills. And it's really important to observe one's behaviors by documenting the observations and reflecting on the behaviors to analyze our strengths and to figure out opportunities for improvement. So, some of the things that can be done are video self analyze. So, you as a teacher can videotape yourself and your students as you were all going through some drills, as you're talking about those language points that are difficult, and you can see how students are able to transfer skills through that videotape. As you watch yourself, teach this, you can have a checklist and see, okay, this is what students are not getting, this is what students are getting. So this is a great way to really monitor yourself as a teacher and see what you're doing, get a reality of the picture, if you will, of what's happening in the classroom and what students are learning as you're explaining these transferring skills or as they are using these transferring skills. Another way that you can self monitor is through the use of a checklist. So you could have a checklist that measures implementation fidelity. So you could say, these are the 3 steps I'm going to do. Did I actually do them? And if I did, what went well and what could I improve on? And then other strategies is journaling. So I really enjoy journaling, especially in small group. Let's say if I'm working with a group of students and something didn't really go well as I had planned. So I like to write this down and uh, reflect on this later on. Maybe I wasn't sure how to transfer certain skills of grammar. Grammar's not my strength. So that was one of the things that I wrote down on my things to improve on or to look up later. And then, of course, you could always track progress. How are the students doing with these transferring skills? Is it actually improving uh, the learning in the second language? So, in conclusion, language transfer is the knowledge and skills of one language to another language. There are many benefits to language transfer that include development of metalinguistic awareness and higher order cognitive skills. And then here are some tips for teachers if you want to use transfer long language skills. Use a framework that allows for effective implementation and use self-monitoring strategies to monitor student progress and your own progress. Thank you so much. Here are my references.